Disney Junior Mickey Mouse Roadster racers race for the Rigatoni ribbon.
Dejan's learning camp.
Mickey and his pals are getting their daily drivers tuned up and ready for the biggest race of the year in Rome, Italy. The race for the Rigatoni ribbon. Mickey and Donna are having a friendly argument over which one of them will win. Gosh, Goofy says. Doesn't that fancy fellow Piston Pietro win every year? Not this year, says Minnie. She and Daisy are already planning the perfect outfits to go with the Rigatoni ribbon when they win. Race day has finally arrived. The racers zoom up to the starting line. Suddenly, Piston Pietro roars up his super crusher. You can't start without today's winner, me, he says. You losers can't win anything driving those little toy cars. Ah, it's Pete. Pete's the winner. But the game's daily drivers are no ordinary cars. With a grin and a wink, Mickey calls out, "Let's show Pietro what we can do." Minnie agrees. Fantastic idea, Mickey. One by one, each of the racers press a button on the dashboard. Whoosh, pop, bang. Pietro can't believe his eyes as the daily drivers transform into super cool roasters. On your marks, get set, Clarabelle shouts. Get moving. Is that pizza? The racers zoom off. Pietro zigzags across the racetrack and takes the lead. And to stay there, he has a few tricks up his sleeve. Time for the pizza pie flip and fly. Pietro sneakers as he pulls a lever. Pietro's roaster starts shooting out pieces. Mickey swears. Hey, no fair, he calls. Who cares about fair? Pietro shouts. I do whatever it takes to win. Poor Goofy is positively pummeled. Goofy the first one out. Poor Goofy is positively pummeled with pizzas. His roaster spins off down the wrong street. Oh my goodness. He done got Goofy already. Goofy's roaster comes to a stop in front of a restaurant. Look at the size of that meatball, he says. I gotta give me a taste. He runs and orders spaghetti and meatballs with extra pepper. Yummers! All the pepper makes Goofy sneeze. Achoo! His forks fly out of his hands and hits the giant meatball, causing it to roll down the street. But Goofy just grabs 2 new forks and digs in. Goofy always doing something. Back on the racetrack, Minnie and Daisy are catching up to Pietro. They are too close for comfort. Pietro says to himself, time to give them the slip, Italian style. Oh my goodness. Pietro flips a switch and spills olive oil across the road, sending the girls spinning off the track. Oh my goodness. Minnie and Daisy out too. It's going to be Minnie. It's going to be Mickey left, or either Donald. Oh dear, Minnie says. We're way off course. Suddenly, they drive past Flucci's, the most famous shoe store in Italy. Well, says Daisy, we could make a pit stop. Look, everybody doing their own thing. Minnie agrees as long as it's quick. They haven't forgotten about the Rigatoni ribbon. They supposed to be disqualified, making stops and stuff. The race is down to 3 drivers. Pietro turns around to glow at Mickey and Donald. That's when they all see something that does not belong on the racetrack. A giant meatball, they scream. Pietro wastes no time racing through the gate and slamming it shut behind him. Mickey and Donald could get flattened any second. Look like Donald out there. It's coming to us all then. Mickey spots a long, smooth stone that looks just like a ramp. Donald, follow my lead, he calls. Mickey rolls up the ramp with Donald right behind him. Heads up, Donald calls. Here comes the duck. He and Mickey rocket through the air and land safely on the racetrack. And here goes the mouse, Mickey adds. Pietro is furious. Oh, I'll show those rotten roaster racers, he yells. But this race is far from over. Minnie, Daisy, and Goofy are back from the pit stops and gaining speed. The Rigatoni ribbon is still up for grabs. They supposed to be disqualified. Suddenly, the racers hear a rumbling. It's the giant meatball. It bounces down the road and lands with a splat, sending Goofy and Pietro flying. Mickey turns around to... I've been saying Pietro. Is it Pietro? Mickey turns around to see the massive meatball on the racetrack, but Donald is too focused on the finish line to notice. Mickey realizes that Donald is about to be flattened. He throws his hot dog and hot rod into reverse and races backward. You're going the wrong way, Donald cries out. Forget about me, Mickey says. Go win the race. Mickey rolls his roaster into the meatball, sending it, Pietro and Goofy flying sky high. Donald zooms across the finish line. I did it. I beat Preston Pietro, he cries. He led Donald. Look at there. With one last big bounce, the meatball lands on a statue and explodes into dozens of tiny meatballs that rain down from the sky. It's the perfect time for a plate of pasta. Clarabelle puts the Rigatoni ribbon around Donald's neck. Sorry you didn't win, pal, but I won thanks to you, Mickey. Donald says, aw. Mickey replies, friendship is a lot more important to me than winning. He ain't like Pietro Pete. That's a Pietro Pete. He ain't like Pete. Pete trying to sabotage people.
Subscribe to my channel.